Hi students, I am Rajeshwari, Psychological Counselor, SRM Kattankulathur Campus. Today I am going to talk on the topic Say No to Addictions. So when I say no to addictions, you should also know what an addiction means and why people get addicted to certain substances or certain habits. So the opposite of the word addiction is connection. So there goes the meaning of the word addiction. And when a person gets addicted. So when there's nobody to connect to, when a person feels very lonely, then there is all vulnerability set in the person to get hooked to some habits or get hooked to some substances. So it is a very natural, innate desire for any human being to be connected, to be bonded. So it is a fundamental feeling a person gets when he is bonded and connected, a belonging feeling, and a feeling that I am very proud to exist in this world and I am appreciated for who I am. And this doesn't happen to all of us. Some people are really unfortunate where their parents could be very cold parents and where they just simply reject or abuse or they themselves are suffering with some mental or physical problems and the children are not appreciated or paid appropriate attention or in fact they are not properly nurtured or protected or guided in their childhoods. So, in such situations, the children naturally look forward on the outside world to feel connected, to feel appreciated, to feel given attention. And for the normally for any students who have an appropriate goal and who is able to when he puts a hard work and when he gets a result, then he pursues with the goal and he is able to connect with the friends, peers, teachers, and with the outside world, and he is able to transcend the pain of not being nurtured in the house, even though it is little difficult, he is able to survive. But unfortunately, for certain students like slow learners, in spite of having put the maximum efforts, so they are not unable to get the results that they want. And when they repeatedly go through failures and when they repeatedly go through rejections from the teachers and the friends, when they are not recognized, when they are not appropriately appreciated for who they are, when people constantly keep an eye on what they are doing, this is what happens in the competitive world outside. People constantly watch on us. They keep judging on what we do, how we do. So when these children, when they do not get appreciated, then they feel very demotivated. So, in such cases, also they become a victim and they become an easy target for these bad habits and addictions. And in some other cases, there could be people who are affected with attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactive disorders, which could have gone undiagnosed or unnoticed, or sometimes it could have they could have been diagnosed for that and having given medicines, and later on they would have just like that abruptly stopped the medicines. So in both the cases, when they grow up to teens, so in the pre-adult stage, when they come across these drugs or some other habits, and when they are demotivated, when they are in a very low energy state, when they are emotionally affected, then by default, when they learn these addictions, then it becomes impossible for them to come out of these habits. So basically, everybody wants to be appreciated. That becomes the main reason. And by default, somebody learns a shortcut method to be recognized, like some person, some boy or girl in the class does this and gets a big recognition, a big girl, big boy attitude, and everybody looks at them with an awe or with a fear. Then these people are also attracted and they also imitate the same. And even though that's a negative attention and it's a negative appreciation, that gives them some satisfaction because they are also recognized in the class as for their existence. So, and some people out of just curiosity, everybody does it. I see it in the internet, I see it in the TV, I see it in the movie. So why not? I will also just try it for a fun. So, and for with this attitude, when a person tries this, sometimes they forget to learn that certain drugs are not so easy to leave like that. So it could be even cigarette smoking. Many people, when you interview them, how they got addicted to this cigarette. So they will say, I just started it as a fun, madam. Somebody said they just have a fag, and then it became a habit. Now I am unable to leave it. So you should know why you are unable to leave it, because there is a science behind this. Whenever some people get addicted to a habit or to a person, there is an unnatural way of dopamine being supplied to our brain. It's dopamine is something which gives us pleasure. So all the time we get this dopamine in our body, and it gives us an appropriate pleasure. But at times of pain, this pleasure is subdued and we don't feel that pleasure, and the pain overtakes this feeling. Because for all human beings, we either feel pleasure or we feel pain. So that is the most fundamental emotions. And nobody wants pain. So when we are in the state of pain, we just immediately want to come out of it. But normally people do so a lot of activities, by doing a lot of activities, by giving a lot of efforts, like talking about their emotions, talking about their experiences, and asking for the solutions, meeting people, sharing, learning. So they do activities, they work out, they do alternative activities like reading books and diverting techniques. So little by little, the pain goes and the pleasure pops up, and they come to a equilibrium. But for certain other people, they want instant pleasure like that. They don't want pain. So they take these drugs, and this supplies an instant supply of dopamine in the brain, which gives a lot of pleasure. Then what happens in the normal states, even though there is dopamine, the body says, no, 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 I am not able to recognize this. Give me extra dopamine. So only then I'll feel pleasure. So this is what is the addiction. It's like, otherwise you can understand, like, so you are taking a normal meal in your house every day, and when somebody invites you for the party and you enjoy the party meal and you feel very happy about it. But later on, after coming home, you should get satisfied with what you prepare at home, and your body and your mind should say it's okay. But suppose if your mind says, no, 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 I want only that party pizza, only that party meal every day, then it is like an addiction to the food. So, but this is what happens when it comes to marijuana, drugs, and cigarettes, alcohols, and video games, and sometimes talking to persons. Now, mobile addictions is also equally same like drug addiction. So, the impact of the result of all these addictions, whatever it is, that is how it changes our brain structure, how it alters our functions, and thereby how it alters our feelings, emotions, and our behavior, our characteristics. When you see, it is more or less the same. See, when a person becomes addicted, then he becomes highly selfish, and he wants to get that pleasure at any cost. He doesn't understand the impact that it makes on the others. Say, for example, parents could be doing a lot of hard work to pay the college fees, and they would be having a dream that my children will grow up and they will give us a nice life. And there could be a lot of responsibilities to be done by the children in the family, and it could be a mutual relationship, like parents do something to grow up the children, and when the children grow up, they have to take care of the parents. So which is a normal way of living. But when a child gets addicted, when a student gets addicted to the drugs, this judgment, this decision making skills, and the self control are all impaired, and the perception to see from the other's point of view, to understand the empathy, everything vanishes, and he becomes highly selfish, highly greedy, and he is ready to do anything to earn that money and be enjoying that pleasure. So, and this drives him to do antisocial activities, and there are all chances for the person to be arrested because of all these bad activities. And even the possession of drug is a crime, and that is also any time he could be arrested. And even if he escapes all these legal and social taboos, when a person takes the drugs and drives, it could lead to accident. Or when he trusts a person and sits in a bike or a car, and it may end up in a bigger calamity. And the most important thing is when somebody gets addicted to some habit, say video games or porno watching or talking to somebody in the mobile, spending a lot of time chatting to unknown people and smoking, alcohol, drugs, any bad habits. So it makes a person like a zombie, without any passion, all the time pleasure, 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 and because of this, the person completely forgets to keep the goals in his life, and thereby he becomes a very unproductive person, like a stagnant waters. See, stagnant water is always harmful and it is useless. So this is the most important thing. So in a journey there should be a lot of milestones, and a journey would have everything. There could be a pleasant road and there could be a very unpleasant road with lots of humps and bumps, but one who is steadfast with the goal, with reaching the destination, will cross each and every milestone, and he'll be flowing like a river which is flowing down the mountain, has no control over the obstructions that is coming in its path. But the river is determined, and if it is determined, it doesn't get stagnant and it just goes and reaches the destination. So we should also be like this. We must learn from the nature. Just watch a lava which struggles hard, which puts all its efforts to come out of the cocoon. And when it comes out on its own, naturally like that, it develops a strong winds and it becomes very powerful and it flies off very independently and happily. So there is no gain without pain. So this is what we learn from the story of lava. And we should also work hard whenever we come across any difficulties. We must learn how to overcome that pain, how to grow bigger and bigger than the problem and solve the problems in a healthy way. And this is what is maturity. This is what is life. So life is full of pain and pleasure alternately happening to us. So we may come across negative persons, we may come across negative situations, there could be negative event, and as a result there could be negative experience. We have no control over all these things happening to us. But our decision to learn positively from all this is our choice. So when you keep strong and stubborn to learn and be positive from all this and be a productive person in your level, or whoever you are, with whatever deficit or the plus you have, then you become a very contributive person and very, very productive person. So at the end of it, this is what is required. Everything in this world gives something to the space, gives something to the human beings. We human beings, we exploit everything, enjoy everything, use everything. But what do we contribute to the environment? What do we contribute to the society? So, which is far beyond your physical, mental, or status or money. If your soul is very powerful, if you are determined to give and productive and serve people, then definitely you get a proper positive recognition, positive attention, and positive appreciations for who you are, even though what you do may not get you the success. So it's very easy to stay from addictions if you are connected. So the only strong word that can keep you away from addiction is stay connected. So please disconnect from all the bad habits to stay connected with positivity and positive people around. So all the best. Thank you.